Good evening. Welcome to Success in the City. My name is Helen Webster. I'm with the lovely
Sandra Scott, and our guest today is our great friend,
Fran D'Arcy.
Welcome.
Thank you, Fran, for joining us for a second time. So, Fran was our guest last week, and unfortunately, the internet in the pub where I was in Gloucestershire didn't work, even though the guy had been like super helpful and moved me to all different places in the pub.
Wasn't that
and we
kind
just
of him to talk
couldn't
about?
get a connection.
That was kind, though, wasn't it? What he did and everything to help you.
So poor Fran watched me dinner because I thought I'll put it on. So I put it on, and then I put the laptop by the side of me and was eating me dinner like that. And I thought, oh my god, Fran was like watching, like just sitting eating my dinner. And then the fella was like, "Oh, are we live?" And I went, "Oh no, not yet." I said, "We don't go live till 7:30." And it was all working okay, but then when the streaming came, it just wouldn't sort of connect, and then he was like, "Oh, I'll put you in this room," and he put me in like the back where the breakfast is served and stuff. And then he said, "Oh yeah, you can come into our office," and he put me in the office, and they were just lovely. The staff in there were absolutely amazing. So a big shout out to them. They were lovely. Yeah. So massive thanks, Fran, for joining us. So Fran's from the Big Hill Project, and we'll find out more and more later as we go along. But first, we shout out to the kids, any young people who've done amazing, amazing things. So, Sam, do you want to shout out to the kids first?
No, you can.
Okay. So I'm going to shout a massive, massive shout out to the children from Holy Rosary School. So we've been there yesterday and today with Lou, our interactive playground. Yesterday we did all the juniors, and today we did all the infants, and we're going back on Thursday to play whack-a-ball with them. And they all experienced Lou. They all engaged. They were just amazing, and what a lovely, lovely school. The children were like so well behaved, and they were just lovely. And it was just great to see them all. So massive big shout out to all the kids from Holy Rosary School. Fran, have you got young people you want to shout out to?
Yes, so our youngest ambassador is called Theo Vasu, and every Christmas and Easter and throughout the year he does regular collections for our food bank, and he collects like hundreds upon hundreds of items for us, and he raises awareness about the charity and our work in his school with his peers. He's the little superstar. He really is.
Oh, well done, Theo.
Thank you, Theo.
Great. Well done, Theo. Sam?
Yeah, I've got a couple because it's been a couple of weeks since we did our show. Shout out to Marie and Italo, to Marie Vickers' kids who were very, very well behaved when I went to babysit for them. That was incredible. Ginevra, Raf and Luca, they were all really, really good. And also shout out, I know I've done a shout out to a lot of my little people who I tutor and etc. But I wanted to give a shout out to Rowan and Phoebe. And Rowan's mum and dad have gone to Valencia. I teach them all Spanish, and they've gone to Valencia and left them with their nan for the weekend, although they will get spoiled rotten. But he's been coming on loads because we're preparing him for going to school when they move to Spain, and he's been learning everything. So
yeah.
Shout out.
Oh, massive. Well done to all of them. Brilliant. So success for you personally this week. Yes, you, Sam, you can go first.
Well, success for me is I drove back from Cornwall successfully in one piece, despite the gaffer tape that was holding the bumper together snapping. That's been on since last August, and it has got an MOT. And we pulled off and found a place at 9 o'clock at night on the Sunday and got better gaffer tape, stuck it back together again, and it was great. It's like it's had a remodel or it looks much better because the current.
I did notice it, and I thought, oh, that looks as if it had a little bit of a
lens in
touch
better
up
than the old gaffer tape. So we got back up there, no bother, and we drove up in the night time because it was on the news that there was going to be a fuel protest the next day. So we got in about 2:30 in the morning on early hours Monday. After that, so I was delighted with myself. That was
brilliant.
a win,
a massive win. What about you, Fran?
So in the last week, I've joined a gym, and I've not been a member of a gym for I don't know how many years, and I've been and had my induction, and I know how to use all the machines, so that is a big step for me.
Which gym have you joined, Fran?
It's the Green Bank.
Brilliant. Green Bank gym.
So it's like a local little independent gym.
Greenbank Gym is that the one? So it's the disability gym where all of
It is.
the amazing the boss
Yeah.
facility. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
on Greenbank Drive, Greenbank Road.
yeah, it's lovely there, near the watering can.
Yes.
Yes. Amazing facility. Amazing facility. Did you meet Mark? So Mark looks after everybody there. He's
Yes,
brilliant.
it is.
Wheelchair
it was
user.
really helpful.
Amazing. Yeah, it's boss. So my success this week is that on Saturday night I went out with Ali Moff and all the girls. So there was like 30 of us who went to Bongo's Bingo for their hen do, and we had an absolute ball. And the biggest thing is she won the Henry Hoover.
Brilliant. But can I just say, that's fantastic. But the fact you haven't mentioned that you did a 25-mile, whatever it was, hideous thing, right across Cornwall, up and down, in and out of water, did a vertical kilometre like this, scrambling up a cliff face, etc. That wasn't your success. Interesting.
No, but that happened 2 weeks ago now, didn't it?
It was unbelievable.
So
Very
yeah, so I
emotional, Helen.
I did Man versus Coast. I absolutely loved every single minute of it. It was amazing. It was just one of the best things I've ever done.
Oh my God. She went off about 9 o'clock in the morning. And then, and Phil was there, obviously, and Ronan and I met up with Phil. And we were waiting to meet. We met up later with him, and then we were waiting to meet, and we sat out. It was a gorgeous sunny day at Land's End, and I've never been there before. It was so beautiful. And then we were waiting, and I was thinking, oh my God, she's going to be like this. So she goes, big, massive smile, and I was like, you're a nutter, but well done. And next year's first thing, she went, I'm going to sign up again next year. Straight away like that. And you did that for our lovely friends.
I did, and our lovely friends listening in. So I did it for the Swinnies. So for all the gorgeous Swinnies. It was just an amazing family, and I just loved them loads. So it was amazing. It really was. It was amazing. I loved it. And I've been looking at other little things, and I might be doing. Oh, my mum's listening in, and my mum says, I've lots of money from friends for you. Amazing. Aww. Thanks, Mum. And my Uncle Ron sent a cheque over as well. He rang me to say that he sent. So there's some more money coming over to Joe. And I think, if I'm right, that we've gone over the £4,000 mark.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Joe's target was to raise £5,000 this year for Histio. So hopefully, well, not hopefully, I know it's going to happen. We're going to well get over the five. Yeah, we'll well get over the £5,000.
Just a quick one, because I know we've got to move on, but another success was Uncle Ron coming to play on the loo when we did the Shout Expo in town, which was absolutely brilliant. And he was so cool. And he's 80, isn't he? And he's
86.
86, my God. He was just brilliant, wasn't he? And he loved it. And it was dead nice that he came to see us. And Joe Swinney's just said that they have gone over that amount.
They've gone over the 4, yeah. Uncle Ron was, so it was the business fair. And he was like, well, I can't go, I haven't got a business. I went, of course you can. I said, you can just come and, you can just come and play on loo. So I'd said to the people at the reception, I said, look, so my Uncle Ron's coming. I said, will you, when he comes in, I said, you'll know him. I said, he's 86. I said, will you bring him to our thing? And you know what? The guys at the Shout Expo were so friendly and they were lovely. And one of the lads got him and he brought him all the way and he sat him down and he made sure he was all right. And then he played Lou and he absolutely loved Lou. He just thought Lou was amazing. He just thought it was the best thing ever. So I said to him, we're going to do corporate days and we're going to do premium corporate days. And on the premium ones, we're going to hire Uncle Ron out with Lou. Well, he was just gone. He thought it was the funniest thing that he'd ever did. So yeah, so if you want to pay the premium price, Uncle Ron will come along and you can have your photograph taken with him because he's a bit of a celeb, isn't he?
He is a celeb.
Yeah. So, so we've all got amazing successes, which is brilliant. Yeah. And we're going to play this or that with Fran. So, can me or you?
Go on, you go first.
Okay. Abseil or firewalk, Fran?
Firewalk.
Okay.
What about you, Sam?
Right. There's a significant factor here, the height of the abseil. Because if it's not too bad...
The cathedral one outside.
No, firewalk. The only thing, right?
Firewalk
So
for
I'm
me.
going to do the firewalk, obviously, for the charity. But what I'm nervous about is you saying you've got black feet for 3 weeks.
Yeah, you end up because it burns the bottom of your foot, doesn't it? It doesn't like physically hurt burn because you go into your mindset, but it actually burns the sole of your foot.
I think once there was a woman and she had to go to A&E with severe burn, and she's had a skin graft on her feet. That'll be me. We'll give it a
No,
go.
because it's all in the power of your brain. It's all in the power of your mind. You can do it. They psych you up. They get you ready.
I hope so.
Okay, go on. Your go. So we're all doing the firewalk. I've just got.
Yeah, we're all doing the firewalk. Okay, Fran, you've just joined the gym. Exercise equipment, like the machines and all that you have to go in, or classes, exercise classes.
Classes.
Classes for me too. What about you,
Classes for me too. Classes for me too.
As an instructor or a participant?
For me,
you teach it all, don't you?
I like to join in a class. I like joining in. I like the atmosphere of a class. And if you get a really good instructor, it's one of the greatest things that you can do. If you've got a good group of people with you. So yeah, I love joining in a good exercise class. Yeah. So classes for me. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Coke or Pepsi? San.
Coke. Always, 100%, my whole life. Although, and I don't like any of the decaf. It's like the original Coca-Cola. That's what I like. But I don't drink it very often at all now. I don't really drink fizzy pop much. But if I
only with Bacardian.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't going to say that, but yes, only with Bacardi. And I know if it's not the right Coke straight away, like a syrupy thing out the gun, or if it's the wrong, if it's not Bacardi as well, it's disgusting, straight away if you have like something and it's not like that. But every now and then, maybe once every 3 months, I'll get a can of Coke, and it's got to be proper Coke.
Yeah. What about you, Fran?
I don't drink a lot of fizzy drinks, but if I had to choose, it'd have to be Pepsi.
Wow. And mine would be Diet Coke because I don't like real Coke. It makes my teeth go fairy.
Oh, it does make your teeth go fairy. It's terrible.
But Diet Coke, I don't like Pepsi at all. I think Pepsi's got a
But also, what does it even do? Because it cleans pennies. You can clean money and stuff like that with it, so the mind boggles.
I know. Go on, San. Last one.
Okay.
Oh, no, second one. Sorry.
Oh, okay then. Sorry. Fran, would you rather do a city break or a week in the sunshine on a beach somewhere?
I'd rather do a city break because I'm not a fan of the sun and I love history. So I love going on the breaks to go and find out the local history and the culture.
One of my clients was talking to me, he went to Rome at the weekend and everything, and he was just, I was saying to him, oh, do this, do go here, go there when you go there. And he just loved it, and he with his family, and he was just saying how incredible it was, and it was just superb. If you know what to see and where to go in places, yeah. So mine's a city break, definitely, rather than a week in the sunshine. But I quite like a fortnight in the sun. So I'd pick that over the city break. What about you, Helen?
A city break, hands down.
Good.
Yeah, I'm not a massive lover of lying on a beach. Although Cornwall with the beaches and just unbelievable. So if anybody wants to see Cornwall, you can actually, the run that I did, you can actually do that as the coastal walk. And it's
absolutely. You had to have buoyancy aids on because you were in and out of water up to here.
Yeah, but that was part of our challenge. You don't have to do that you don't have to do that.
Cruise, you get to do it all.
I know. I quite fancy a cruise. I'm just like terrible seasick. That's
unless you take your mother to Alaska, Joan. That's a different story. That was the year there was no tan.
Yeah. Okay, last one. Chick flick or horror movie, Fran?
Chick flick, just have a good laugh.
What a terrible choice. Okay, I'd have to have the chick flick over that. after which we've spoken before about the It incident and the red balloon and all the rest of it. I'm not going into that. But so if it's horror or chick flick, it's chick flick.
Yeah, chick flick for me. We were having a discussion, me and Rach, last night, because we're going to the pictures on Thursday, and we were like, do we go and see Top Gun? Do we go and see Elvis? There was another one. Oh, Thor's out, and she's like massively loves like Chris Hemsworth, doesn't she? So there was like three that there was like a few that we wanted to choose. So we're just going to wait till tomorrow, till Thursday. Okay, last one for you, San.
There's loads of good films out at the moment, isn't there? Okay. So I know this, Fran, because I taught you Italian a long time ago. Okay, so Italy or France?
Definitely Italy.
I think most people would say that.
Definitely Italy, I think, for me.
Definitely Italy. But I do like some parts of France.
Yeah, definitely Italy.
We'll go
okay. That's it? We're done?
Oh, we're done. Okay,
we're done. I'm going to let you introduce Fran, Sam.
Brilliant. Okay, so I'm absolutely delighted to have Fran on our show today. So I've known Fran for quite a few years now. It must be actually, mustn't it? Connected really when you were at Nugent through Michelle, who's also been on our show, and now you work for the Big Help Project, don't you? So we're keen to know all about your journey, how you've come to do what you do now, and what you do in that role, etc., and then how we can, or people out there can help, etc. And here's our Michelle saying hello, which is lovely.
My partner in crime.
Oh, partner in crime, indeed.
Over to you, Fran D'Arcy. Take it away.
Thank you to you both for the invitation. I've really been looking forward to this because from chatting to Michelle, I heard about how much good fun it was. So thank you. So yeah, I'm with the Big Help Project, and I've been there about 3 months, and I'm head of community engagement, which is a bit of a posh title. Basically, I'm a fundraiser, and I just go out and raise funds and awareness of the charity. But how it all started was, it was when I was 9, and I went to my cousin's school prize giving on the Wirral, and Fiona Castle, Roy Castle's wife, was giving a talk about charities. And I came home and I said to my mum, can I do something to help people? So she was like, well, you're 9, so we'll have to find out what you're allowed to do. So I started off collecting used postage stamps and foreign currency for a couple of charities. And then when I got to double figures, I was like, come on, you've got to let me deal in the dollar now. So I used to do Christmas fairs and summer fairs, Mother's Day fairs for mainly Marie Curie in Waltham. And I sat on the Lord Mayor of Liverpool's charity committee at 15. I did various appeals. And so from the age of about 19 to about 18, I raised about £60,000 for local Merseyside charities.
What?
So yeah, I get embarrassed.
You never told us any of this. No, shout it from the rooftops, love.
Just say that again, because I got an 18 to 19, and that really confused me. What age did you say you did that from?
So from the age of 9 to about 18, I raised about £60,000 for different charities.
That's incredible.
It was just my hobby. I didn't do like music or sport or art at school. Fundraising was my little hobby growing up. So and I went to some amazing places. I've been to the Coutts Bank in London. I've been to the House of Lords. I've been to Whitehall. I had the privilege to speak at lots of, dinners about philanthropy and stuff. So yeah, so that it seems like a long time ago now, because I've been fundraising for about 25 years. So yeah, it's just a massive part of my life. But I still went to university and did my degree in history and got my master's degree. But I knew I wanted to work in the sector. So I've worked for like national charities, more local charities, worked for an NHS charity. And then it was me and Michelle were apart for too long. We needed to be reunited. So I'm made up to be back with her, because it made it a lot easier, the transition into the charity, because we know how each other one works. And we just get on so well, and we help each other when we need it. So the Big Help Project is such an amazing local charity, and a lot of people in Liverpool probably haven't heard of us because we started life in Knowsley about 11 years ago as Knowsley Food Bank. We started feeding the hungry, but obviously when people come to use that service, they're in need of other support. So wraparound services grew from that, such as our money advice, our employability, and other services. So about 13 months ago, I believe, we made the move from our Link Road base in Highton for our offices, and we're in Bowler Street now, just off Shield Road, Liverpool 6. So part of mine and Michelle's role is to tell people in Liverpool about what we do and raise our profile there, which you were both doing a fantastic job at helping us achieve that as well. But we've still got our base in Kirby, which is where our food bank is run from with the warehouse. So we offer a lot of services and support, all people-centred. And we do something which is pretty amazing called Baby Basics as well. So and Michelle is really passionate about this service. So it may be a mum who's expecting. And what we do is we make up a Moses basket with everything that mum needs for baby for the first 3 months of baby's life. So it might be nappies, the baby wash, bibs, little clothes, towels. We try to think of everything, and we put in some toiletries for mum as well, so that she can have a little pamper once baby's born. And that might be the only items that child might come into the world with. And we were making some up last week, and it was just heartbreaking to think that this basket could be the only thing that they might have, but also wonderful that we're able to help people on that level.
I think you told a really powerful story to us, and when you explained about the Baby Basics, and it was a young mum who'd gone into labour. I think it was maybe 4 or 6 weeks before she was due. So as the thing is, maybe they haven't got the money to buy these things, or things aren't just quite ready at the moment, or, they've bought little bits and pieces with the money, and, they're saving maybe the next, paycheck is going to afford those things. And then they go into labour, those 6 weeks earlier, and I've got nothing. And that's when you told us about the Baby Basics. And it's just such a lovely thing to do that. It takes the pressure off mum, doesn't it? To say, I haven't got to go out and get the things, I haven't got to find the money for it and stuff like that. And it's just a lovely, lovely gesture, I think, and people can get involved by donating, like, maybe packets of baby wipes or bibs or anything to do with babies, can't they, for that?
Yeah, and it's a network. So there's Baby Basics in all different areas. We're Baby Basics Knowsley. And as you say, I think with the cost of living going up as well, if people are on tight budgets, they might leave it till the due date to buy these essentials. And if they do go into labour early, they still need all those essential items to look after.
Sam, say someone wants to donate specifically baby things, or they might have, maybe they've been given a lot of stuff and they've got stuff left over that's new. A lot, that happens, doesn't it? And how do they get this to you?
So they can contact myself or Michelle at Big Help Project.
Okay. So we'll put details of that after the show.
Contact details, that would be great. Thank you.
Right. So apart from you do that amazing Baby Basics thing, but you were talking about the wraparound service, and I think it's super important that you don't just give somebody a pack of food.
Absolutely.
It's everything that goes with that food, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're feeding on average about 4,000 people every month through our food distribution services, and the people that are walking through the doors, there's a reason why they're coming to get that support. So our staff have a chance to have a chat with them and say, if you're out of work, would you like to get back into work? And our employability team will sit down. Some people might not have updated their CV in 20 years, or they might not even have a CV.
Yeah.
So they'll put their CV together and then find out any training courses they might need to make themselves be more accessible to different jobs. And we also do something on a Thursday from our Bowler Street offices called a job point, which is an old-fashioned back to basics jobs board all the jobs are printed off, put on a board in the different sector categories, and people can come in and have a look at the different jobs available, and then have a more in-depth chat with our employability team and find out what they might need to be able to apply for that. Because I think maybe people of a certain generation, if they may have come out of work for the first time in a decade, the first thing is you've got to log on with an email address, and they might say straight away, oh, I'm not going for that. There's no chance I'm going to get it. But you can break it down and then help them on that journey to get that work if they want it.
And sometimes just a little bit of a support like that, just someone supporting you through a process enables a person to achieve, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Just that little bit of input, helping them get an email address and showing them what, because I think if you've shied away from computers and that's, someone like my age, certainly, who had to learn it in adult life, really, I think if you've never been exposed to it or you haven't got the internet at home, you do need support. For the computer, everyone who learns a computer has been shown how to do it, how to set up an email and go through the process and things like that, So I think that's really essential. And what a lot of people weren't aware of until the first lockdown, certainly, is about, we used to talk about internet poverty. So everyone assumes you can log on at home. Everyone assumes you've got broadband to your house and things like that. Whereas those people with 5 children and the only internet they can get is off a phone when they were trying to do lessons and things like that. So trying to apply for a job on a mobile phone and put a CV together is nigh on impossible, I imagine. So I think that's a brilliant service you offer that.
Yeah.
It is. It's really important. And then we also have like a money advice team as well, which will help people with budgeting, manage their finances a bit better. And then we have like a welfare team as well who help people with any questions they might have around that service as well. But for the employability team, we even have some little wardrobes where if people need something to wear for a job interview, they can come in and get a little outfit. And then if they get the job, they've got their first outfit to start off their work wardrobe. So we try to think of everything, really.
So, Fran, would you, with that type of thing, would you be wanting people to donate stuff, maybe like a suit jacket or smart clothes or anything? Is that, or do you guys get that yourself? How does that work?
Yeah, any donations like that are always gratefully received.
Because you've got the shops opening as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got a number of community shops around like Huyton, Prescott. We've got one in Bootle, one in Dovecot as well. But they're not just normal charity shops. It's where people can go and get information about our other services. Some of them act as like a food club or a pick-up point for people if they need food parcels. But they accept donations of clothing, toys, books, like bric-a-brac, all items, shoes and handbags as well. And all the funds raised from that go back into our work. And we've also got another shop called Homes with Style, which is in Huyton. And this links in quite nicely with our Paint and Green project. Now, when I found out...
when Fran told me about this, my head fell off. I was like, this is the most amazing thing ever.
Actually, this, go on.
I was the same. I was like, how does that work?
Okay.
So if you've got any old tins of paint rattling around in the back of your shed, we will take them off you, even if they're half used, and we put them in a big vat, do something to it. The scientific terms I don't know. The magic potion. And it's recoloured. We've got our own paint charts, and then it's put in a fresh tin, labelled up, and we're able to sell that at a much more affordable price than the big retailers. So how good is that for the environment?
Yeah.
Because it's saving all those tins of paint going to the tip, and it's making it more accessible for people to buy that paint, and it's supporting a local charity as well.
And it's green in terms of being environmental friendly. The paint is not green. You can
get green though. You can get a lovely green.
There is a shade of green.
You can get what you want, can't you?
Yeah,
and it's like a Dulux. It's like a Dulux colour chart, isn't it?
It is, and it's accessible for anybody as well. So, if people want to find out more about that, we'll put our contact details at the end.
And I think it's a good way to get you. So do people pay less than they might pay in the shops or not? Is it?
It is less than in the shops.
So it's cheaper than in the shops. It's saving them, helping towards save the environment. Okay. Plus all the money goes directly to the charity that's supporting people get back into work with food baby stuff and everything. Brilliant. Okay, that's a win, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And I think it's amazing that it's gone from, a food bank where people, oh yeah, my mum's just said, will Fran come and talk to our ladies? So I think I've already put Fran on your list, Mum. If not, I have just spoke to Fran about it. So yeah, Fran, will you, Fran, come and talk to me, Mum and her mates?
Oh, they're lovely. They're really nice bunch.
Yeah, and I think it's, I think from a food bank point of view where people were going and just getting food parcels, to then do that sort of whole wraparound service where, they can get some debt advice and they can get, and, some employability help and support. And sometimes it's confidence.
It is about confidence, isn't it? And being with someone who's in the know, who understands, who can give that. Oh, look, Mrs. Webster, Barbara she's going, we will pay her. Yes. Well, I'm sure that'll go to the charity. But
it will, yes. But yeah, as you say,
you could do a collection. You could do a collection, couldn't you, for baby stuff in my mum's?
Yeah.
Whatever,
So, Fran, what about people if they want to donate food to the food bank? How does that all work?
So there are like essential items that we're always short of, which tend to be tinned meat and tinned fish. And we give out items like pasta, tinned vegetables, long life milk, juice, cartons of juice, all items like that really, packets of rice. So if people want to donate that, again, you can get in touch with us and we can arrange to collect that.
And sorry, go on, Hal. You're cutting out a bit there. Sorry. Just tea and coffee, Fran?
Oh yeah, tea and coffee as well.
Okay.
And sugar, sometimes people don't always think of sugar.
No, I wouldn't have thought it. Okay, there you go. I think we've got you back now, Helen. No, we haven't. Oh, she's gone out. She'll come back in again now. So where do they drop these off, though? Can they drop you said about having the shops. You said in Dovecot, Bootle, Prescott and Huyton. Can they drop the food off at those places, or is it all in Knowsley, the food bank?
Yeah, you can drop donations off there or at Bowler Street at our offices.
Oh, in Kensington, of course.
In Kensington as well, yeah.
It just kicked me right out and then let me back in again. How random.
I know, and it's like Anton Deck now. You've come on the other side. I feel like I've been given a position of authority because I'm on the side now. I'm not allowed.
But what I was going to say was when Big Help Project did a food drive, didn't they? And that means that people, all the lads thought that they were having to drive food around. They were all like, I'll drive for you, Fran, I'll drive for you, which is amazing. But it was a brilliant way that they did it. So it was in Asda in Huyton, and they had some young volunteers in the front who were giving people a shopping list of suggested items that they could buy for the food bank. And then when they came in, we were on the table, and another great idea was there was different varieties of what you could. So there's like different types of tea bags and things like that. So if people didn't want to go and find, where it was, they could actually put that in their basket to then go and pay for and donate at the end. And it was just a really, really well thought out thing. But the fish and the meat was, somebody said to me, with the price of fuel going up, so like the price of gas and electric and things like that, people sort of struggle with maybe like tins of beans and things because they haven't got the money to heat them. Whereas if they've got a tin of meat or a tin of fish, they can make a sandwich out of it. Which is like horrendous, isn't it? When you think about it. And I remember having a conversation with you, San, about when somebody said something to do with tea bags. And you said to me, imagine waking up in the morning and not being able to have a cup of tea.
No, exactly. You have a hot drink, don't you, in the morning when you get up, and it's horrible. It's just horrible. And you know, it's interesting, Fran, that I know you were due to come on last week. Well, you were here last week, but we had technical hitches because of Gloucester's internet. That's what I'm going to say. But I was watching the news tonight just before you came on, and it was in Manchester actually, and it was talking about the poverty. And this lady said she had £300 universal credit, and the 280 went on the rent. She had children, and I just sat there and I thought, 20, what do you do with the £20? Your lecture, and there was a teacher, you know, and I always go on about my experience teaching with hungry kids, and we set up a food bank in the school, and they had deputy head teacher on, and she was talking. She said we're one of 8 schools, massive secondary schools. 90% of children living in poverty in northern Manchester. And she said, you know, we've got kids 8 miles down the road that have a completely different life, and that's the same in Liverpool. That's the same here, isn't it? And it's the same in Wirral. It's the same in Halton, Sefton, etc. You know, thank goodness not everyone's in the same boat, but if people are able to help, if people can just get a pound, if people can spend £1 on a tin of tuna, or you know, if everyone who is able to do that can help the people who can't, everyone's standards go. And I used to say, you can't teach hungry kids. And this lady on the news, she was saying about a boy, another teacher's head on the desk, and she said, what's wrong? And he said, I'm just so hungry, miss. I'm so hungry, you know. And a lot of the families, they've got their electricity cut off, so they can't cook, you know. And we spoke to Jill and Kev from others. They talk about this. A lot of the charities we engage with, the stories are right across the board, you know. And lots of charities tackle different aspects of issues, etc. One of the things I love about your charity is the service you provide, and though, to help people get on their feet, like debt advice, and help them with work or get back into work as well, you know, which is a great thing. Things that if we're not exposed to, we don't know about, you know.
It's about giving people a bit of dignity as well, through the services that we provide. And talking about children, when you think about the 6 weeks holidays are coming up and the schools being off, families will be worrying about how they're going to maybe provide that extra lunchtime meal, or in some cases breakfast and lunch for the families. So you know, we know that it's going to be a busy time during the holidays, but with that in mind, we've been trying to think about how else we can help families as well. You know, going back to school in September, it's often a brand new school uniform because they've shot up and the shoes are too small, new backpack, new lunchbox, all the stationery. So we're trying to think of a way that we can help families, and maybe by collecting school uniform items, school shoes, and maybe doing a drive around the stationery items as well, pencil cases, pencils. So if anybody can donate any school uniform items, then that would be amazing. And if anybody could help with any donations of stationery as well, just to help families. And, you know, if that's a bit of a cost saving, if they can get those items from us, then they can maybe, you know, put a bit more food on the table, or it could be an extra little day out to the park or something, as you know, a family's part.
And you think some people will have lots of things where the children have been given presents, like kids who are arty and stuff, and they'll have lots of the same thing, or things of felt tips that they've not opened, you know, duplicates of things. They could just, and they'll be brand new, they could drop them off. Or if people have got stuff, you know, pens and that.
Yeah, we're going to try and do that through our network, through our community shops, use that as the place where people can access those items as well.
What would you say?
I think it's...
Sorry, go on, Hal.
Go on, son. No, go on.
What would you say that the area of most need is for your charity? What do you need more than anything?
I would say food, because with the cost of living going up for everybody, people who may have ordinarily donated to our food bank are no longer able to, because they've had to cut back on what they're spending because their bills have gone up so much. So food is something that we always are in need of.
Okay.
And as fast as it comes in, it goes out.
Yeah.
you know, that collection you did, Helen, that was over a weekend.
Yeah.
By like the Tuesday, Wednesday, that had completely gone because of the amount of people that were feeding. So
it's incredible, isn't it? Incredible. So yeah,
And
if anyone can donate, and you know, we have certain things where, you know, like my mum's, you know, part of a club, and there'll be other people who are listening who are maybe part of clubs, and maybe their club could, you know, for 1 month possibly support the Big Help and maybe do a little collection. And you know, I'm more than happy to drive around and pick some things up, and you know, then we can drop them off or we can bring them to you as we see it on a Friday and stuff. And you know, you weigh the food in. So our breakfast BNI group that we meet on a Friday morning, and you know, we make donations. We all bring food in and things, and then Fran goes and weighs it, and then she says, you know, thanks everybody, because today, I don't know, the equivalent of £50 being donated, or you know, and it's like, and some of the lads, they're like, oh, I'm not going to the shops or whatever, and they'll just give you some money. You know, they might give you £5 or £10 or whatever, and then you're able to buy food with that, then, aren't you?
yeah, we reckon it's about £3.50 to feed a family for a week. So all those five.
I don't understand that. What do you mean it's £3.50? How can you feed a family for £3.50? I don't get that.
So we have our different models. So we've got our food bank model, and then we've got our food clubs as well. So our food clubs are where people can come along and access food items through a membership of £3.50, and you come away with about 20 odd pounds worth of items, and these are accessible for anybody. So you can go in and say, I want cereal this week, or I want, I don't know, rice. But if a family presents themselves and they can't afford that, obviously we wouldn't send them away, we would still feed them. So that shop is £3.50, and that shop would feed, you know, they could feed their family for the £3.50. That's the amount that we say that it is through that
Right.
shop.
I remember you said that, Fran, in our group. You said something to do with, and I can't think who was sat next to me, and they went, "Oh, that's the price of a Costa, isn't it?"
Yeah.
And they basically said the price of a coffee could feed a family for a week, and that's with the food club membership, where people, and I like the food club idea because, you were talking about dignity before and things like that, and it's self-worth. So I am paying for this, and also I think it's quite nice for the children to be able to see that, you know, my grown-up goes in and my grown-up pays for things, and then it doesn't become an expectation. You know, it's like, oh, my grown-up is paying for their food, as they would in any shop. You know, they don't really need to know how much it is and stuff, but I do think there's a massive thing about paying, and there's a lot of people who you know, sort of dignity and things like that, and might not, you know, want to go to a food bank and given a free, you know, they see it as like a free handout or something, whereas if they can pay for it, it's that like, oh, I'm doing my bit sort of thing.
Yeah, it gives them that choice to pick what they might need for that week, and it's set out like a proper little shop, really. You get a little basket, you go around with your basket, and there's like fresh fruit and vegetables available.
Yeah, which
It's ours, isn't it?
important, isn't it?
I think we should do some things for you, have a good drive on a few things. I'm sure there's a few initiatives we can do to help, you know, especially with food and things. I'm happy to drive around. People will know it's me because of the gaffer tape on the back of the You can still fit a lot in a Yaris boot, you know.
Absolutely.
So food's your main drive at the moment.
It is, yes.
In and out today. So food is your main driver that you need. Okay. Food, baby basics. If people, as Helen said, if they can't do that, but they want to make a donation, that's great. Then you guys can go and buy what you actually need the most, can't you? Old tins of paint, smart clothes for interviews, clothes and things and items for the home that you guys can sell in your charity shops now to bring in revenue, etc. I know, have the charity shops been going a while, or are they new, Fran?
I think they've been going about 5 years, and they have a good variety of stock at a very, very affordable prices.
Brilliant.
Well, for people.
Okay, then, fantastic. And you've got some fundraising events coming up, haven't you? Because I'm partaking in one, which I'm starting to regret, but there we go. If you'd like to tell everyone about those.
Yes, so we have got people completing the Liverpool Anglican Cathedral abseil for us on the 30th of July. The lovely Anna from our group is doing it. She is, yes. So that'll be fantastic. We're going to be cheering people on between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. on the 30th of July, which is.
And how many people have you got doing that from?
We've got 16 people doing that for our charity. And our food bank manager's doing it, who's absolutely petrified of heights.
Oh my God.
So she's going to face her fear.
It is hell back now. It's such a long drop from the cathedral as well, isn't it? And when's the fire walk?
So that's Friday, the 16th of September. And that's at the Hare and Hounds pub in the car park in Huyton.
Okay, and you're doing that in conjunction with Bradbury Fields, aren't you?
We are, yes.
With our mate Jill's. We've had Gillian Wilson on as well, yes. So brilliant. So does the money go? Helen's just in and out now doing a vanishing act. Oh my God.
Again.
There you go. You're back now, mate. We can hear you. You're just lagging. That's all a bit. There you go. You're just a bit pixelated. So you know the fire walk then. How does that work? Is all the money raised split between the two charities, or do you just have your own people and raise money for each one?
So each of us will recruit our own walkers, but we're going to link ours around Feed a Family. So we ask for a minimum amount raised, £75. So that'll go towards feeding a family. But we are going to be working closely with Bradbury Fields to, promote the event.
Yeah.
We do get an hour's training before the firework starts as well.
Cool that grass.
That's what you have to say. That's the mantra in your head.
I'll be thinking of icebergs, Hal, believe me.
I saw it on the telly about 20 years ago and I thought, I need to do that.
So, Fran, have you got space for more people to do the firewalk if they're interested, or is it full?
Yeah, no, we have got places available. And what the Hare and Hounds have said, that if you want to come with your friends, family, colleagues, you can have a little bite to eat and they can reserve tables for people. But no alcohol is to be consumed before people walk if they are taking part in the firewalk. That's part of the terms and conditions. You can have
alcohol's flammable.
Yes.
What do you mean? That'd be me. I've spilled the Bacardi and the cake up my leg and stuck to me. More skin grafts.
I don't know if you mentioned, because I was getting thrown in and out. Did you mention that Anna's doing
Anna,
she's doing the
9 till 10 in the morning, and that's the 30th of this month, isn't it, Fran?
Yeah, it's on the Saturday morning. We'll be cheering.
So I'm looking at breakfast. Yeah, I'm looking at. Oh, so my cousin Julie's listening in, and she says, "Well done, girls. She'll drop things off soon, so she can drop them off at my mum's, or I'll come and collect them from yours, Jim." Yeah, amazing.
Isn't that brilliant? And just when's the date of the firewalk again, please, Fran?
That's Friday, the 16th of September, and that's in the evening.
I'm dead excited about that. Dead excited.
I'm going to do it. I'm doing it, Sandra, as well.
Yeah, yeah, we're all doing it.
Yes.
We don't.
You'll want to do it again. You'll want to do it again once you've done it the first time.
I can bungee jump off the end.
Extra fact. So if people want to donate, if you've got a link on your website,
we can share that. Yeah, we've got some links to our website.
Okay, because we'll put them on our page as well and everything at the time. And keep us posted of any new initiatives you're doing as well, or any drives you've got, because we'll keep sharing. Michelle said.
So Michelle says that the Three Musketeers. I'm thinking the Fabulous Four, or the
Fab Four.
Yeah, so I'm sure Michelle can join us on the Fab Four on that one. So massive thanks for Fran for sharing the story of Big Help Project, and you're doing an amazing job. And we wish you every success. And anybody can get involved. They can speak to myself, Sandra. They can speak to you, and we'll pass you details on and things like that. So. Oh, she said she spelled that wrong. Yeah, she meant to put the Fab Four. Well done.
And Jab will clock that straight away. Doesn't matter, Michelle. It's okay.
I know she spelled the Three Musketeers wrong. It should have been the Fab Four. So red face moment, something that's slightly embarrassing. People can laugh along with, not at you. I know Fran's got a belter. So I'm going to give
hilarious.
Fran's going to take it away first.
Go on.
So it was during the lockdown. I was doing a diploma through the Archdiocese of Liverpool in pastoral ministry and leadership. So we're talking the Catholic Church. So because we couldn't meet in person, they'd set up a Zoom evening. It was a Thursday evening, and they said, make sure when you log onto the Zoom, you've got your Bible and a candle to take part in some prayer. So I thought, okay, get myself a headset. Everything was ready, sat with my candle and my Bible. And somebody else had been using my laptop a few evenings before for a quiz with their football friends. And it changed my name from Fran D'Arcy to something that I can't repeat. If you think of a show on the television called Call My Bluff, and you change one of those words. So it must have come up, is in the waiting room. And I was thinking, they're not letting me in. I can't believe this. It's going to start in a minute. So they eventually let me in. Everyone looked very confused at this point. And there were bishops on the call, priests, Catholic nuns, and about 40 people. And in my horror, when I realised, rather than coming out of the call and changing my name, I just clicked off the camera part. So the name came up in massive letters. And I wasn't very good on the Zoom. I was frantically trying to change the name. And I literally sat there, beetroot, still with the candle and the Bible. And everyone just sat there thinking, who is this person?
I love the bit that you went, oh, I'll turn my camera off, and it made it even bigger.
Disaster. That's hilarious. Did you get an email or anything about it?
Luckily, no. Luckily, there were two people on the course with both called Francesca. And I did have to say to the other Francesca, you didn't get an email. She said no, but I did notice what happened when you logged in.
Fran, who would you lend your computer to?
It was a male who plays football, so you can imagine what the name was.
I hope you told them.
That's brilliant.
They saw it happen. Brilliant. They were sat in the room with me.
They must have just been in bits.
They were.
It's your
That's brilliant. That's amazing. That is hilarious. I love that. That's brilliant. Brilliant. You got a red face this week, San?
My life. Just apart, as Ronan said, one of the really good things about having gaffer tape on the back of the car and the two bits of the wing mirrors are there, I can see, but the cover's gone, is that all the Mercedes and Range Rovers keep the distance from you on the motorway because they're like, she doesn't care. So was me driving around Cornwall in the little lanes with people going like that. Because you see a bit more things like that living in a city, don't you? But down all the way, and they were just like looks of horror. So that was that. But I was quite pleased with myself. Really, it was a red face that turned into a great positive, and now I'm just delighted. And who are you if your car's not held together with gaffer tape?
Exactly.
So, what about you?
So I've had two. So when we were putting Lou in the car on Friday, and my protein shake had burst in the back of the car.
That was brilliant. Sorry.
So it's gone like all over the car. So the car absolutely stinks of like strawberry milkshake gone off. So I'd scrubbed it and everything like that. Anyway, so I put both windows down, to
air it.
To like air it. It's because of the smell. And I had the doors open, and then somebody was trying to walk past, so I had to like shut the door. And I went like that to shut the door, but just put my hand through the window because there was no window. So I went to push the window to shut the door and just put my hand through. And this fella was just like waiting for me to like close the door. And I did it twice. And I went, oh, the window's down.
Brilliant. I love it.
And then this morning, so I get up at 5:30 in the morning. And this morning it was 5:05. So I got up, I had the shower, I felt amazing. I go to exercise at 5:30. Well, I teach exercise at 6:30. So 5:05, loads of time, jumps in the shower, felt amazing, felt dead fresh. Went and got dressed. Really, really looking forward to seeing everybody. And it was, I'd woken up at 7:05 because my alarm hadn't gone off. So I noticed at 8:20 when I thought it was actually 8:20 in the morning. I was thinking, God, I feel amazing. So I totally missed this morning, missed the class and everything. So poor Sophie and Heather and Lynn had all gone to class this morning and I wasn't there because I was still asleep. So yeah, so apologies to them. So there you go. So shout out to any grown-ups who've done amazing things this week.
Yeah, go on. I'd like to shout out to Sarah Roberts. Sarah Roberts, who did her master's whilst working full-time in the lockdown and having to deal with, she's in HR in a big, massive factory, having to deal with all the stuff to do with the lockdown and everything and studying at the same time. And she had her graduation this week, so that was dead cool. Yeah. Last Friday, I should say. Danny, as always, Danny de Brabander, who's put his pictures on to show him what actually, like the rashes after chemo and everything, you know, and he's such a positive person. He's raised so much money locally, helping people, and just, you know, he just keeps going. And a shout out to Liverpool City Council for putting chess tables in Sefton Park, which are the best thing ever.
Brilliant.
There, man.
Brilliant. Well done. Well done. Fran, have you got any grown-ups you want to shout out to?
So I've got two, if that's okay. So
yeah.
The first one is to Liverpool Voice Choir, which is led by Leslie Bentley. They recently held a concert for Ukraine and raised just on £2,500. Mm-hmm. So every Friday at Big Help, we run a weekly support group for people who've just arrived from the Ukraine. And off the back of that, we've received loads of donations of toiletries and cleaning products as well. So thank you so much to them, because little acorns have grown from their amazing efforts, as the saying goes. That is a quote by Leslie as well. And the second thing is Big Help Project have just become the main shirt sponsor of Wigan Athletic Football Club. So
go on.
There's been a press release issued in the last couple of days. So Wigan, a championship team, one level below the Premier League, and this sponsorship has been gifted by the club. So if you look at their new shirts on their website, it's got the Big Help Project logo right across the front, which
brilliant,
is amazing for us. So just to say thank you to them for this one.
Fantastic.
It is.
That's brilliant. Incredible. That's a really, really good. Yeah, it really, is really good, because they'll be on there, the telly and everything, and Sky and everything. It's a massive. So Jo says that she's seen the voice choir in the festival in Knutsford, and they were brilliant. So brilliant. I want to give a shout out to, so Emmett he's our apprentice, and he's 17, so he's nearly a grown up.
Yeah.
And it's just been amazing the last 2 days with being in Holy Rosary. You know, he's turned up and he's just been amazing. So big shout out to him for doing great stuff. He's just flying at the moment. So well done. Yeah. So Jo says there was a handsome singer and she wanted to match with Dana. There you go. So positive challenge, Fran. Do you have a positive challenge that people can do this week?
Just if people could, you know, maybe donate one item to charity, whether it's a food item or a book that you're not going to read again, to a charity shop. Give it a second life.
Brilliant. Amazing. So I'm going to say a massive thank you to Fran for joining us for the second week. Internet's been rubbish in Liverpool, and it has in Gloucester for me as well. Massive thank you to Sandra, as always, for being part of and being here. And Fran's going to leave us with a closing quote, which is a mantra that she lives by. So we'll see everybody next week. A massive thank you to both of you.
Oh,
Over to you, Fran.
Thank you to you both. I've had a wonderful hour with you. So this quote is something I always said growing up as a child, through my fundraising, and it's that there's no greater joy than giving, and it's not just of money or items, but it can be of yourself, you know, your gifts and talents. We can use them to help others. So I'll leave that one with everybody. And thank you so much.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you very much. And we'll see everybody next week. Bye.